Hi, and welcome to First Bite, a nation's restaurant news podcast. I'm Leanne Zinsmeister. Today is Monday, November 21st, and here are your top stories. First, restaurant sales remain strong, with the last 2 months having posted the highest growth since March. While traffic is also improving, the sales growth is largely driven by higher average checks. Second, Wendy's offers an Italian mozzarella chicken sandwich and garlic fries. The brand joins a growing number of quick-service restaurants offering new twists on the staple. Third, how eco-friendly Seattle restaurant chain Just Poke is doubling in size in 2022. The fast casual's ethos around conscious business practices is helping it quickly scale. Fourth, Starbucks workers at 100 stores went on strike on Free Red Cup Day. Starbucks union problems are continuing with striking workers, an NLRB request for a nationwide cease and desist order, and clashes about health and hygiene. And finally, Menu Tracker. New items from Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, and Wendy's, plus innovation at many more restaurant chains. And now, let's dive deeper into a story from NRN.com. In part 2 of our Tech Tracker discussion, senior editor Joanna Fantozzi is back to talk about the latest platforms for Lunchbox and Thanks. Last month, both tech companies unveiled the latest version of their suite of tech capabilities for restaurants, with Lunchbox focusing on online ordering integration and Thanks focusing on the next wave of digital loyalty programs. Here's Joanna with the story.
So Lunchbox, basically what they did is they completely rebuilt their platform. They focus a lot on online ordering and integrations. So they want to be able to, I'm calling it like a plug and play type of thing. They want to be able to integrate with other, maybe your POS system or other partners that you have and be able to have them talk to each other. So the new Lunchbox, the reason that this version is a little bit different, they say that basically it's faster, it integrates with more platforms, it integrates with more third-party vendors. It's easier for restaurants of all sizes to use, whether you're a smaller startup or a larger chain, which that is interesting that they said, because as a side note, because Lunchbox had previously said that their target audience really is, or the target customer really is that startup restaurant, that smaller, maybe independent restaurant or smaller chain, kind of an emerging brand maybe, because they are the ones that might be hit with these fees from third-party delivery services. So this one is basically, so besides being easier and faster, it integrates with more POS systems. And they're basically just trying to be able to hit a bunch of buttons at once. Catering is a new feature that they added this time around. And I think that they're just basically trying to improve their user experience so it's easier to use. Meanwhile, Thanks, this is the third version of Thanks. So Lunchbox, if you're keeping up, Lunchbox is 2.0, Thanks is 3.0. They're trying for the most part, I was saying that they're trying for the most part to stay in one lane. They are focused a lot on loyalty, rewards, and marketing. And we've written about in the past how loyalty is really changing a lot to not just we've obviously come a long way from the punch cards, right? The punch card systems. But I feel like the early days of rewards programs were like digital punch cards. Like you spend this much money, you get these amounts of stars or points or whatever dollars to go toward your next reward, which might be, 25% off something or a free drink or whatever the case may be. But now rewards programs operators are learning that not all customers want the same types of rewards. So Thanks' new capabilities allow you to kind of pick and choose your own. It's like a DIY type of thing. You pick and choose your own rewards, many of which might not necessarily be financial related. You might have something like, if you spend X amount of dollars, you get a free private event. I guess that is financial related, but you get a free private event, or maybe you get to skip the line for your next 10 visits, or free delivery, etc. So more creative rewards and solutions. And the new version of Thanks also allows you to do A/B testing to figure out what your customers most like. And obviously, these are two very different types of software, Lunchbox and Thanks. But I think that the thing that they have in common really is personalization and customization. Everything is DIY, build your own, and it's just become what both operators want and customers want too.
Great. And now, the next thing to dive into is this PepsiCo news that they're going into ghost kitchens.
Yeah, this is really interesting, actually. So last year, Pepsi tested out Pep's Place, which was a virtual restaurant pop-up that basically let customers pair Pepsi products, beverages mostly, I think, with food items. So if you said you were in the mood for a burger, no, wait, hold on. Yes, if you said that you were in the mood for a specific, like a Pepsi or a Mountain Dew or whatever, it would pair that with a specific menu item. So it's kind of a fun, kitschy, almost a gimmicky type of thing. But this was, I guess, a test for their new ghost kitchen tool, which allows restaurants to kind of partner with them, be able to enter that ghost kitchen space where you can have a ghost kitchen menu, a virtual menu, and you'll be able to, of course, showcase Pepsi brands. So what's interesting about this is that, and what we've been talking about a lot lately, and what you actually will see in the December issue of NRN, to plug that, is the blurring of lines between retail / CPG and restaurants, and especially in that virtual kitchen space. There's really not as much of a difference now between a virtual restaurant, and virtual retail. And GoPuff and Pepsi and a bunch of these names are just trying to make it so that it's just easy to order whatever you want, whether that be a roll of toilet paper or a Pepsi paired menu item.
Interesting. And so, what do you think about this news? What do you think it means for the industry at large?
I think it means that in all of this news together, to me, says that the restaurant industry is expanding and changing its definition. I think that it's basically forever changing. Rather, it's changing forever. I think in the post-pandemic world, restaurants are becoming obviously more than just a physical place that you walk in and sit down and order off a physical menu. They can be a place that you drive through to talk to AI to get your burger and fries and drive away. Or it can be maybe you order from a virtual restaurant where you don't know where it is, a ghost kitchen that you don't know where it is, and you add some, like maybe a 6-pack of beer or some toiletries to that order as well. And I just think that the definition of restaurant is changing to become more about a retail CPG experience, to be where your customers are and to provide what your customers want, which is kind of this on-demand culture.
I feel like we can't leave without talking about Tock right now, because you didn't include it in Tech Tracker, but you wrote a separate story about it. Nick Kokonas is leaving Tock. So let's talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I was a little bit surprised at that. I guess I shouldn't be, because he sold Tock, to his reservations platform that he built, to Squarespace last year. But I guess we haven't heard a peep out of that transaction in the past year. So it's kind of surprising that he's leaving effective actually January. And I think that it is possible that, I think it's pretty probable that that Tock might be absorbed into Squarespace, which is a shame, because to me, that would be a shame, not to put my own opinion into it, but because I know that Nick Kokonas has really built up this reservations platform that kind of challenged the way we think of reservations platform. During the pandemic, he had different virtual events and classes and things like that, and kind of was a new solution to figure out how to score hard to get reservations at hot restaurants. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tock is just absorbed into Squarespace as another feature of Squarespace. But I'm not saying that, as a fact. I don't know that for sure, just my own prediction. And we actually talked to Nick Kokonas and asked where he's going next, and he declined to comment. So we'll have to see.
Thanks for listening to this episode of First Bite. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, stay up to date with your news at nrn.com.